Right now, before today even unfolds, your heart might already be bracing for the worst. When you're afraid of what today will bring, this morning prayer is for you to place this whole day in God's hands. There are mornings when the problem isn't just what has already happened, it's what hasn't even arrived yet. You open your eyes and instead of feeling relief for a new day, you feel a kind of tightness in your chest, as if your heart were preparing for impact. Fear of bad news, fear of unexpected calls, fear of difficult meetings, fear of repeating yesterday's pain. Sometimes there isn't even anything concrete scheduled, but the soul lives in alert mode. What if today is the day everything goes wrong? What if something bad happens to those I love? What if that message I don't want to receive comes? Your body is still in bed, but your mind has already traveled through all possible dark scenarios. In this condition, even simple things of the day gain a disproportionate weight. A commitment at work seems like a final judgment. A scheduled appointment turns into almost an early sentence. A family gathering, a pending conversation, an overdue bill. Everything seems threatening. Instead of seeing the day as a space where God can act, you see it as a corridor of potential risks. And that is exhausting because, somewhere inside you, there is the desire to trust. But on the surface, what dominates is the fear of what could go wrong. The Word recognizes this kind of struggle. Jesus speaks in Matthew 6 about not worrying about tomorrow, because each day has enough trouble of its own. Psalm 118 verse 24 says, "This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." It is as if God were saying, "I was present when this day was born. I was not surprised by anything you fear." Today's prayer is born exactly from this place. When I'm afraid of what today will bring, Lord, I place this day in your hands. The focus is not on denying fear, but on choosing a better place to put it. If you are watching on TV, this silent conversation also reaches you. There is a small QR code in a corner of the screen. When this prayer time ends and you have a quiet moment, you can point your phone to it to continue walking on other mornings, delivering day after day into God's hands. It's not about collecting videos. It's about having a place to return whenever you wake up with a chest tightened by what today might bring. For now, it is enough to admit, Lord, I am afraid of what this day might bring, but I want to learn to place it in your hands. It is from this gesture of sincerity that God begins to move not only in what will happen out there, but in what is already happening inside you. When the heart wakes up with fear many times in a row, it's not just the day that gets heavy. The image you have of yourself also changes. After a while, the thought stops being, "I am afraid today," and becomes, "I am fearful. I am always negative. I can never trust like others do." Seeing people starting the day with energy and good expectations can further intensify the sense of failure. Why does it seem so much easier for them? The anxiety about what today will bring begins to turn into an accusation about who you are as a believer, as a child of God. This has a direct impact on how you enter God's presence. Instead of arriving as a child who runs to the Father, you approach like someone apologizing for not being able to start the day right. Internal phrases come like, "I should already be more mature. If I had real faith, I wouldn't wake up like this. God must be tired of this recurring fear of mine." His presence, which should be a place of shelter, begins to seem like a place of demand. The fear of the day adds to the fear of disappointing God himself, and this some ways more than any meeting on the agenda. But God doesn't read you from your first thought in the morning. He reads you from the work of Christ in you. 2 Timothy 1 verse 7 reminds us that God did not give us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. This isn't a pat on the back saying, "Stop feeling." It's a reminder of identity. You are not your dread. You are a beloved child in process. Psalm 56 verse 3 records a prayer that seems made for days exactly like this. "When I am afraid, I will trust in you." Notice, the psalmist admits that fear comes, but decides what he does with it. Maybe you have called yourself cowardly, dramatic, hyper-worried, so many times that you forgot to call yourself what God calls you. My son, my daughter, beloved. Today's fear does not cancel the fact that the one who holds you has already been in all your tomorrows and remains the same. He doesn't treat you like a lost project for waking up with a tight chest. He invites you to live this day not under the tyranny of fear, but under his voice. And this invitation begins to take shape when you dare to say, I am not just what I feel when I wake up with fear. Placing the day in God's hands is not a pretty phrase thrown at the sky. It is a concrete delivery, made with intention. Many people say, it's in God's hands, like someone who gave up, not like someone who trusted. Biblically, delivering the day is more like Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. It means recognizing, I don't know everything today carries, but I know who holds time, circumstances, and my heart. In practice, this delivery begins when you take the package of the day, commitments, fears, scheduled conversations, possible decisions, even unforeseen events that you fear. And, in prayer, take that out of the center of your chest and place it before God. It's different from just thinking about it. It's saying, Lord, here is this appointment, this email, this meeting, this encounter, this possibility of bad news. I don't have control, but you do. So instead of spending the whole day trying to protect myself from everything, I choose to ask that you protect me and lead me in everything. It is an exchange of weight. You let go of what you cannot hold. He takes over what never escaped His hands. Placing the day in God's hands also involves a posture throughout the hours. It's not just a quick prayer in the morning and then living as if you were alone. It's returning, mentally, to this gesture whenever fear rises. When the thought comes, something bad might happen today, you breathe and respond, yes, I don't control everything, but this day is in your hands, Lord. When your heart races, you remember, I have already delivered this day. I can live 1 hour at a time. And if something difficult really happens, the same gesture repeats. Lord, this also goes into your hands now. There is a rest that is not born from having all the guarantees, but from trusting in who walks ahead. Psalm 139 says that God hems you in behind and before, and lays His hand upon you. This includes today. Delivering the day, then, is not an act of escape from reality. It is an act of faith that says, I will enter this reality accompanied. And it is from this awareness that the courage to get out of bed, take the first step, and breathe deeply is born, even still feeling the weight of certain possibilities. The hand that holds you is greater than anything the day can bring. Now is the time to speak to God with sincerity. If possible, sit in a quiet place and close your eyes for a few seconds. Breathe in slowly. As you let the air out, say in a low voice, Lord, I'm afraid of what today will bring, but I place this day in your hands. Let this phrase find a place inside you, without rushing to the next thing. Begin to name what scares you most today. Maybe it's a difficult conversation, a scheduled exam, the reply to a message, a financial problem, a decision you don't know how to make, a possibility that threatens you. Say, Father, what scares me most today is, and complete it with your words. Don't minimize, don't dramatize, just describe it. Then pray, I bring this fear into your presence. I don't want to carry it alone. Take this into your hands. If something really happens, let it be under your covering. If it doesn't happen, let me not have lived the day suffering twice as much. Now, extend this delivery to the day as a whole. Pray, Jesus, I deliver to you the morning, the afternoon, the evening. Every meeting, every message, every thought. Govern what I do not see. Prepare what I do not yet know. Deliver me from what I fear without reason, and also from what I don't even know I should fear. Guide my steps, guard my heart, align my reaction. If you want, repeat slowly. This day is in your hands, not in my fears. If at any point the phrase, but what if, comes, answer right then and there. And if it happens, I will still be in God's hands. And if it doesn't happen, I don't want to have spent the day as if He were an enemy. Prayer is not magic that prevents every difficulty. It is a bridge that reminds you who walks beside you in any scenario. And it is very different to go through the day like an orphan who fears everything, than as a child who knows where the lap is if something really hurts. Before getting up and entering the rhythm, stay in silence for a few seconds. Breathe in deeply once more and declare calmly, Jesus, I give you this day, from the first thought to the last breath before I sleep. I place this day in your hands. You are saying to yourself and to heaven that you do not want fear to be the main narrator of the next few hours. Now, think about key moments that you already know will come. Lord, I deliver to you this specific time, this meeting, this commute, this appointment, this encounter, this silence that I fear. Pray. When fear rises, remind me that I have already delivered this day. When anxiety wants to write the script in my head, remind me that you remain in control. When I forget, pull my heart back to this delivery. If you need a simple phrase to repeat during the day, use, Lord, whatever today brings, I'm in your hands. If you are watching on TV, keep in your heart that you don't have to walk alone on this kind of morning. That small QR code in a corner of the screen is a discreet invitation. When this time ends and you have a quiet moment, you can point your phone to it to subscribe and return on other mornings like this, always starting the day with this delivery. Again, Lord, here is my today in your hands. Not out of superstition, but out of relationship. To mark this decision before God, you can write a sentence of faith in the comments. Lord, I place this day in your hands. It is a simple way of saying, I chose to trust, even still feeling fear. And if you want someone to pray specifically for you, you can add a word like health, family, job, news, or fear, so that this day is remembered before the Father. If this time reached your heart, may it be just the beginning of how you will cross the next few hours. Not as a prisoner of everything that could go wrong, but as someone who decided to deliver today into the hands of a God who knows, sees, cares, and remains. Whatever this day brings, you will not go through it alone.